going on YouTube? It's Ray from Philly on this Friday night, October 4th, 2019. And I wanted to share something that I've come across on the internet in regards to ideas to help grow the sports card industry. So there is 5 helpful ideas to help grow the sports card industry. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on this and what you guys think about this at the end. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, number 1, get rid of exclusive license. I hate the era of exclusive license that we find ourselves in today. While it generates significant revenue for the sports leagues, it adds a huge expense load onto manufacturers that ultimately gets passed on to the consumer. Exclusive licenses are great for the league, but are terrible for the consumer. So in this article that I'm reading about this, it's basically saying when looking at the big 4 sports, Panini holds the license for NBA and NFL trading cards. Topps maintains the MLB license, and Upper Deck is the only licensed product producer for the NHL. With the lack of competition, collectors have the perception that the manufacturer can do whatever they want with no accountability, and for the most part, they are right. If a company puts out a questionable product, we can either say, oh well, and continue to spend our hard-earned dollars on it, or we don't buy any that's the sports cards anymore. In addition to pricing and accountability, the lack of competition impacts the creative process of card design and the type of products being produced. It becomes easy for marketing and customer service to take a back seat when their customers have no other options. In many industries, the old adage would be that if you don't like something a company does, you can vote with your dollars and buy a competitor's product. We don't have that option in the card world. The only way we can vote with our dollars is to not buy any product at all from that company, which ultimately contributes to the macro decline in the number of collectors. All right, so go back down now to the next idea, number 4. I'm going from 5 to down to number 1. So number 4, create more entry-level products. A lot of people who used to buy cards but are no longer actively collecting are just blown away at the cost of a pack and or a box of modern cards. Only a handful of products each year have a $1-ish SRP, and those become difficult to find shortly after release. These casual collectors are not informed about release dates, pre-orders, or other things that can help them buy cards at affordable prices. They walk in and see the $150 boxes and pretty much just walk out. So in this article, they're saying basically a few more products at a lower price point would also facilitate more kids collecting. I think this will ultimately be a critical factor in the longevity of this hobby. While the mega hits drive a lot of the conversation amongst avid collectors, there is a thriving community of collectors who don't want chrome, don't care about rainbows, and who would prefer to build a personal collection of 100 base cards of their favorite player rather than chase a sick patch. There is still a lot of money spent on the base cards of current and past releases. Even though the value of individual base cards is nowhere near the value of the big hits, I think that the market for these cards in total would surprise a lot of people. This is not a knock on auto seekers and patch hunters. More on that, more on that to come in number 1. Nor am I saying every product should be on the low end. I'm just suggesting there is a demand for both. In the lower end, an entry-level market is being undeserved. Number 3, manufacturers work together to help build the hobby. Competition amongst companies is a good thing. It leads to better products at better prices with better customer service. Beating your competitors is what a company should strive for, but there is also a time for working together. Finding ways to help grow the industry is one of those times. So in this item number 3, they're saying we have this interesting ecosystem of manufacturers, distributors, online retailers, hobby shops, and collectors. There are things that can be done at each of those levels which could help. As I understand it, Upper Deck recently held a conference for a segment of their hobby shop customers. Some of the conference sessions focused on helping the shops grow by educating them on general business trends. That is awesome. We need more of that. Manufacturers need to listen to the concerns of the retailers and their customers. Shops need coaching on how to develop a robust business plan that incorporates online and brick and mortar strategies. They need to learn how to build their social engagement, etc., and the manufacturers can play a role in helping that happen. Manufacturers can also lead when it comes to implementing a plan to get more people interested in collecting. I saw a few Topps ads during the last baseball season, but I can't remember one ad for football, basketball, or hockey cards on TV, sports, radio, or podcast. So that's pretty true. They should work together. Number 2, quit complaining and adapt. Another thing I've learned over the last couple of years is that sports card collectors like to complain almost as much as they like to collect cards. I read lots of complaints about card design, sticker autos, release schedules, too many hits, not enough hits, too many cards of a hot player, not enough cards of a hot player. Some of these complaints are spot on, but at times it feels like nothing will make us happy. However, that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about complaints on the business side. So, on the business side, there are a lot of stories shared which highlight hobby shops closing. Online sellers claim to call it quits after each and every postage increase. Show vendors complain about people who only wanting to pay eBay prices. Story after story of how doing things how you've always done it isn't working anymore, paired with statements like, look what the manufacturer, distributor, breaker, post office, eBay, COMC is doing to me. Quit complaining and adapt. If you have a shop but do not have an online presence, you're doing it wrong. If you sell online and the money you have in a card won't let you absorb a nickel increase in the cost to ship a bubble mailer, you're doing it wrong. If paying a nickel more to submit a card on COMC to avoid scanning, listing, packing, and shipping makes your sale unprofitable, you're doing it wrong. So adapting to changing market is the name of the sports card game, and if you aren't willing to learn new skills or try a new strategy, you're destined to stay on the same path you've been on. From what I could see, the people who are succeeding in this business are constantly reinventing how they build a customer base and market their cards. Finally, number 1, collect what you like. This is something, guys, what we've always talked about in the YouTube community. And this is something that we all should freeze this picture and look at this closely. We need to quit putting each other down for what we like to collect and the way we like to collect it. Just because you may not like a product doesn't mean other people can't love it. Some people love chasing hits, and there are a ton of products out there for that guy. I love buying sets and the vintage graded cards. You can bust new wax if you want, or you can wait and pick up singles. Here's the most important line. Both are necessary for the industry to run. One is not better than the other. All right, I'm going to repeat that. Both are necessary for the industry to run. One is not better than the other. We need to quit putting each other down, guys, for what we like to collect. I see a lot of people spending their time putting others down for their collecting preferences. Vintage guys belittle the modern wax guys. Modern guys belittle the junk wax guys. I don't know how many times I've seen comments about how base cards are worthless. However, sports lots proves every day there is a market for them. Just check out Facebook and you will see collecting groups for any and all segments of the collecting world. Those collectors are loving every minute of it, and thank goodness. We should be celebrating the fact that we can easily find someone who wants the cards we're not into and can provide us what we're looking for on the flip side. So, in conclusion, in my mind, collecting cards provides the average individual with a way to both connect with their favorite sports, teams, and heroes, and reflect on some favorite memories of family, youth, and history. It should first and foremost be fun. If done right, the hobby can also provide an opportunity to be profitable, and I think these are 5 ideas which can both help the hobby grow and make it more enjoyable for the average collector. This is Ray from Philly. I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you think down below. Come up with ideas. Tell me if I'm wrong or if I'm right, or if you just are in the middle. But mainly, this whole hobby, the hobby is meant to be fun. If you're no longer enjoying it, that's fine. By all means, move on to something else that you're more passionate about. All I ask is that you don't try and suck the fun out of it for everyone else. That's the main thing here. So make sure you have fun with it. I always say that at the end of every video. Enjoy the hobby, love the hobby, and most importantly, have fun. All right, guys, I'll be back tomorrow night with some more videos on graded cards. Hope you enjoy this. Keep on loving the hobby. Keep on collecting. Take care. Bye-bye.